Hey everyone, Rick here with Hit Run Candlesticks. How you doing today? What is today? Today's Wednesday, January 13th, 2021, and it is about 6 p.m. East Coast time, so the market is all closed up right now. Got some charts I'm adding to my watch list. I've set up with stops and buy boxes, so I just thought I would share them out here, put them on the old YouTube. The SPY here, we eked out a fairly decent candle today compared to what it had looked like earlier, but we did that yesterday too. We eked out a fairly good looking candle compared to what it could have ended up at. And here we are, there we go. We'll put a little box around that right there. So we've got a little rally up. A bullish bar, a gap, a bullish bar. We gapped up, and then from the candle 4 days ago, you can see we just started to rest here. That's pretty typical of charts, to rally up and then rest. And then what we're looking for is a continued rally. Of course, there's no guarantee that's going to happen. That's just what we're looking for. As long as we hold above the T-line, I'm going to stay for the most part bullish. As long as we hold above the Trendicator, which is the green dots right here, I'm also going to stay bullish. So even if we pulled back just a tad, I would stay there, stay on the bullish side. If we started to get underneath both T-line and the Trendicator, I would have to question that. And that may call for another test of about the 34 EMA or even the 50 simple down here. But as long as we stay here, I'm going to remain to the bullish side. And so far, it's worked out pretty good for the Hit Run Candlesticks team and gang and everybody. Well, let's take a look at some stocks here. BKD has had 2 terrific days after a little pullback here. Found the 34 EMA and we popped up. What I'm looking for is a rest. After 2 days up, there's a good probability we have some kind of rest. And if we don't, if it continues to move up, if the market, if this thing opens up in the morning and just moves up and we miss the trade, it's oh well. We get to say that we had it on our watch list. We will not chase a trade. We will not be in a trade because of FOMO, fear of missing out. And we will not be in a trade because everybody in the world is talking about it. So the trade has to come back to us. It has to come back in, give us that chart pattern. The chart pattern doesn't have to be right here, by the way. It could be up here, but it's going to have to come back to us. It does that, then we're going to look for the buyers to step in, and we're going to step in with them, and then we'll look at buying it. Another chart is this HUYA. Nice little downtrend that all of a sudden is starting to change its character here. We have a little bottom being constructed. We've broken out of that 50 period moving average. That's the 50 right there, that blue dotted line. We've broken out. We've come back and we've tested it with a few bars, and now we're trying to move up again. Again, nothing is going to change. We're going to do the same old thing we always do. We're going to buy on a rest. We're not going to buy chasing it. So we're going to come back in here, let it rest, wait for the buyers, step in, and look for a positive trade. We'll be using about 21 1/4 here for a stop and a buy box. There's about a 4.25% risk if you bought it from the top to the bottom here. Upside potential. This is the easiest thing in the world to do. Just go look where there's been activity. Go look where there's been a battle between the buyers and sellers, and just put some lines up there. That is the easiest thing in the world, looking for a target when you've got price action on the left side. And from here, we'll just, if we do buy this, we'll just simply be following price. And if we see price fail, which it has nothing to do with these lines, honestly, if I see price start to fail, I'm out of it. And as always, with the road to wealth the road to wealth rules that we trade by. As it moves up, we're going to take profits into strength anyway. Net. This is a nice looking chart right here. Net pullback after a good trend to the 50 period moving average. We've got a doji gap up, and you can see where we've made this low, high, higher low, and we've actually made a higher high today. So here's the thing I'm looking at. 78 10ish for a stop. Pullback in the box might give us that buy. One thing I want to watch on this trade is this level about right here, 83.78, 83.80. We've got a couple little touches right here. This here is proving to be resistance, and we finally broke through. Just to turn around and break down below it, and from there we've just scooted right down to the 50 period moving average. So right now, while this is terrific price action and a great little chart pattern in through here, we're back up to the scene of the crime. We're back up where there was an argument between the buyers and sellers. They argued through here, and it looks like the sellers have won for now. Will this be enough to push us through that area? So this is where the issue comes in. Buy on a pullback here, or do we wait simply for a breakout? Let's do this. There we go. A breakout of that 83.80 area, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put a line like this. If we break out, great. We're going to wait for that contraction or that rest, and then we're going to wait for those buyers to step in, just like that. Take a look at the weekly chart. You can see that we're up here at some all-time new highs. Therefore, there's nothing up here but blue sky. There's nothing up here to stop price. So I have to wonder if the better trade might be up into this area. Now, if it does pull back and it looks pretty good, we'll certainly consider that trade, but I'm also going to consider that tomorrow is Thursday. Then you've got Friday, which is a day we generally take profits. We don't buy a bunch on Fridays. Monday, this coming Monday, is going to be a market holiday. So we're looking at a 3-day weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I just have to wonder how exciting Friday's going to be. So maybe we just wait into next week for this trade and then decide how it's going to work out. And even if it starts moving up, maybe we just allow that to move up, set back down, then we look for a buy. The stock would be up there in that 83.80 area. $100 is right there. And from here to that $100 mark, that's not a bad trade right there of about 16.5%. If you did get it here, then you're going to pick up a couple extra percent. You're also going to pick up a tiny, tiny bit more risk. Alrighty. How about Lilly? Lilly's setting up. Nice gap to the upside after we came down from this island reversal bottom. I'm ignoring that wick right there. Island reversal bottom, popped up, sideways, popped up, sideways, popped up. So now we're going to start watching it. Anything below 179.50, 179.45-ish right in here, that would suggest that we might be pulling back down and filling a little bit of that gap. That's not a trade I want to be holding, so it's going to have to stay above 179.45-ish up here, and then we'll look for a higher move. QCOM, really kind of liking QCOM. I see the real possibilities of buying this tomorrow and then holding this one over the weekend. We'll see, though. We'll see. Need to see how tomorrow shakes out. Nice little comeback after this gap down. This red line here looks to me like a good place to put resistance. We popped up. That resistance becomes support. It looks like we have tested support. So far, it looks like that test is working. So we've got our green bar in here. There's our buyer stepping in. We did not buy this today, so we'll wait and see how it acts tomorrow and even on that breakout. So I'm going to be looking at QCOM pretty hard. CB. Had a few people in the room buy some CB here at the end of the close when we were setting this trade up and talking about it. Nice consolidation. I think this is a clear visual of resistance. We broke through. We came back, tested the T line, a little below that resistance, and now we've come back up. Nice little doji gap up. Beautiful chart. Let's mark this out a little bit. Go from that low to that high. Look at that pullback right here. And now look at those bulls stepping in. This might be a good sign that we move higher. This might be a nice chart to trade tomorrow as well. Maybe on Friday, we'll see. And then, of course, we've got next week on this. MVIS. Great volume today. Huge volume today. The candle really didn't explode, which is kind of cool. Low, high, higher low. And you can see we broke out of our high here. So the low, high, higher low is working. Stop around $6, $5.95. The buy box, 12.6% between the top and the bottom. That's huge. That's a monster. Which means that if we end up buying this, then at the high end of it, we're going to have to move the stop up. Watch this 670 area. You've got this doji to get through. Honestly, I think if we start to see some follow through, I'm going to be looking at something around the $8.50 mark. So nice move up here, nice organized pullback, and then we've got this low, high, higher low. We've also got this bullish W pattern going on here like this. Nice bullish W pattern, and we've broken out. So I'm looking for 850. Maybe even we come up and test the highs here of 9 and some change. So MVIS might be a good trade. We'll take a look at it. SPWR looks to me like it's setting up. We'll look at a 2-day chart, 3-day, 4-day. I just want a 5-day. Look at that 4-day. Look at that Morningstar type signal here in the 4-day. Pretty nice. Anyway, above $30. I'm bullish above $30. Buy box here. And I'm looking for a target up here around $50. That's a massive move. That's huge. You got to know there 60%. You got to know there's going to be some give and take. There's going to be some up, some back, some up, some back, some up, some back. So we'll trade that accordingly. Another chart, this GBT. So here's what I did with GBT. I went ahead and took this trade near the close. I was poking around looking for some trade ideas. I ran across this GBT, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a chance on this, and we'll see what happens with it. I like the chart. It's a rounded bottom breakout. I like the bottom it's constructed. I like the trend that it's working with right now. So we did go in and buy a little bit, not a lot. Spent about just a couple $1,000 and then bought some options on it. We'll look for that move up tomorrow, maybe some follow through Friday. We'll watch that. This is a biotech, so be very careful with it. If it pulls back into the buy box in the morning and it looks like if it pulls back like this, pulls back, so midday it pulls back. Let's do this. See if I can do this with a 3-bar chart. There we go. So on the 3-bar chart, here's what I would like to see. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's make this black. So what I would like to see, the first bar tomorrow, I would like to see that first bar pull back a little bit. And it's okay if the second bar pulls back a little bit. Then what I would like to see is the third bar, or I'm okay with the second bar. Start moving up, and this is where we might look to add when this starts to happen here to this. And if we add to it, then of course what we're looking for is that breakout. But I'll only add to it if it shows a little bit of rest and the bulls start coming in. So this is a possible scenario. Certainly not. I mean, it's just a possible scenario. There's no way of knowing exactly what's going to happen. Anyway, that's what I would be looking for on that. And then we're going to be looking at taking the profits on the way up. Being a biotech, I just don't know if I'm going to hold this over the weekend. If it made it up to that trend line, which I think that would be, it'd be crazy if it did it. But that's okay. I'll take crazy, and I'll take about 15% on the stock, or close, or over 30% on the option. So I guess we'll see. Alrighty. Hey, that's the trade ideas right there. I want to thank everybody for watching. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope to see everybody in the room tomorrow. Let's get ready for this long weekend, okay? You guys take care.